let's look into that. So I'll basically be covering some of the stuff from that tutorial.
Well, if you do it in Rhino, all you have to do is just save it as a Revit file and then...
No, DWG. You won't be able to save a Revit file from Rhino. So you have to import DWG. Let's go over some of those. That's okay. Let me remember though. So let me see how big my project is going to be, like approximately. So I have right now 134 feet. So we can keep it really large, like let's say 500 feet by 500 feet site. It doesn't have to be a square, but you can model it as a square. So I'm going to start with, I have units as millimeter. I'm going to change it in Rhino to feet. Units into feet. Does everybody know Rhino? Huh? No? So I'll model something and then I'll upload it as a reference file and you can download it. How about that? Okay. I actually am thinking if I have... flash drive. Let's see if we can save some time. I think I included some DWGs. Site topo small. Yeah, I have a topo file we can use. I'll upload this. It's in 3D as well. Okay? So I'll just upload this file on T-Square, you download it. So go to resources, DWG. I was actually going to do that anyway. Let's see, site topo. Okay, you can download this file now. It's on T-Square, so we don't have to do the Rhino thing. Let me see how big that is now. So I'm going to go to Insert, Link CAD, and bring that drawing in. Site topo. And you don't want to change like a lot of stuff here. You can like turn on orient to view. For units, you assume that the units on the file is correct, so you can do it auto detect for that. You can open. Now should be placed as a reference. Now here's my file. If you want to edit the file you're bringing in, like you don't want to see specific stuff, you can go to delete layers, and then you can select, like choose some of the layers. You can like if you want to isolate something, let's say there's a topo layer here. Right now the file doesn't have that, but I think these are all the contour lines. The coastline you want to definitely like maintain, and you can choose some of these. Let's say I say check line, coastline, hit OK. Let me see that again. Yeah, deleted that. Well, let's bring that back. I may need that actually. So anyway, so when I have a 3D file here, I'm going to go to Massing and Site, Toposurface, and then I'm going to choose, rather than creating our own, so the way this tool works is you just specify an absolute elevation. So that means every time you're clicking a point, you're entering a height value for it, and the topo is automatically created. So I can start with elevation 0 for my base. So I can create 4 points basically. And then if I know there are certain points that have different heights, I can enter a spot elevation for them. So let's say I know some points that are going to be 5. So when I put 5 to them, Revit automatically interpolates these points. And let's say we have another point at 10 feet. So I put it there. And I get a site. Once I'm done, I can hit check. And that's that topo actually, right? It's I create a simple thing. Then I can do edit surface as well. And if I want to change the spot elevation values of any of these points, I can select them again and change their elevation. So this may be, let's say, -5. So now it's going to go down, right? No, so you select the topo, edit surface. Once you do edit surface, you can see the control points that you used for interpolation, and you can basically choose enter the numeric value. So this was at +10, now I made it -5, right? Here this guy is at 5, I can increase it to 10. Maybe this corner is at 10 as well. So this is manually creating the site, right? And it generates the interpolated contours for you automatically.
So I created a site yesterday in Rhino.
Yeah.
And I just have lines, I don't have any elevations, it's just flat, 2D.
Yeah.
I can bring it over here and do that.
Yes, absolutely. If you knew let's say the drawing, the drawing I imported is a bit complex, but I can also use it. So let's go to that. Let's go to site drawing. So let's say I want to use this. I can start with Toposurface and then keep it at 0 and trace the coastline. Right? I can start here and then trace the coast. Huh? Place point. I'm just placing a point. It's the same. I'm doing it manually. But we don't have to do it for this example because we have a 3-dimensional file. So instead what I can do is go to Toposurface. I want to build a new topo, and I want to do create from import. And I want to do select import instance. We have two alternatives here. Select import instance. Basically, use a 3-dimensional DWG or DXF file. Select point file is normally you get a point cloud, and then it can also interpolate that. I think they basically use the same algorithm. Then you do select import instance. You select your file, and then you can. It prompts you the layers, so you can choose some of the layers to include or not, and then you hit OK. And non-contour lines, you may want to go back and select fewer layers and continue. Let me see which ones. Let me see. It actually created, but some of the layers we don't want, so let me figure out which layers we actually don't need. I'll do that quickly. Or I may just edit it and upload a new one. Let's see. this guy we don't need, which is layer 2. These guys we do need. 31. 31. This is 29. Well, this would be a bit messy. Let's do select text and delete the text, or let me put them in a layer. Text. And these guys, select objects, and I'm going to put them into text layer as well. Delete this. We have some roads as well. 29 is roads. Let's see, contours 31. Actually, all the contours are 31. And there's 29 and coastline. Let's see, 29, let's hide 29. But we lose a bit of it. Let's use just 31. 31 should be okay, I think. So if I go back here, let's try this again. Site. So I'm going to go to Toposurface, create from import. And then I'm going to do check none, select 31. And since these are all the contours of this area, it recognizes all the control points, and then it generates a topo surface for me. And I'm going to hit check. That's actually what I got. So did everybody get something like this? Just use the layer 31 on the file to use those topo lines. I'll bring it in as well and use that one instead. So let's see. Go to insert, link CAD, and the second one is under downloads. Let me see, let me move it to desktop. Overlook topo. And what you want to do is go to site layer if it's not created. Once you click on topo surface, like once you create one, it will be created, the site layer. I'm going to do topo surface, create from import, select import instance, and choose the site. I'm going to only choose the topo layers. And this is a big file, so once you have it, you may want to get a region of it, not use the whole thing. So you may want to split the whole topo surface and delete the rest. Let's see. I'm gonna hit check. So I got my topo, and what I'm going to do is to go to site layer again, edit surface, not edit surface, go to, bring all the points up, hit X, under masking and site, you want to go to split surface. So let's say you want to get a region, let's say we want to use here. I'm choosing kind of a more flatter area. I'm going to do split surface. Choose the surface, do split surface, and draw the board. Draw kind of a region, right? So I want to come in here let's say we're going to do 1000 by 1000, so I can do 1000 up, and then I'm going to go 1000 in this direction, and then close it up basically. After it's done, it will use that let's see. So I can delete this portion of the topo, and I have that one. I'm left with that one. Okay, so let me see. Let's see where it's located. It's located somewhere here. I'm going to change the elevation of my topo. And if you're done with this file, you could go to let's see where you could go to insert, not manage links. Base offset. Well, when I do 0, it's like too high. Here's my topo. I'm gonna move it down as well. Let's move it here under our file. I'm done with this. Actually, I can delete it. And there's my topo. So I'm going to place it somewhere where I want to have my building. Let's say the building is actually somewhere there. It's showing contours, but actually this is pretty gradual, so we can technically, I can technically use this area as well. So maybe we can have a road here or a couple of roads, and like there could be some buildings here on top, some other buildings over here too. So you can like keep modeling the site. So this is existing. Edit surface. Let me reorganize my file a bit. It's gonna get really messy actually. If you want to be precise about the placement of the topo, you can specify a section line here and then use that section drawing. So you could do view, section. I'm going to save the project. And then I want to draw a section, let's say from here, looking in this direction. And this guy would be added into my project browser. So there's a section drawing now. So I can open the section drawing. And if you turn on the view crop, my topo is actually right there. It's already pretty well lined up. So I can select the topo and move it up. Right? If I know the exact precise height or dimension, it doesn't have to be. So let's say this is kind of our relationship with the topo. Okay, if you want to get this part out, you can create a building pad. So what you would do is come to the site layer, and actually I need to find, let's see, first floor. And then in the first floor I can underlay the site layer, or let me see, what can I underlay? Well, let's say we want to replace this one. That's fine. I'm going to go to Massing and Site, Building Pad. What Building Pad does is basically you have a site and you want to create a datum for the project. So you can draw kind of a profile on the topo, and it will basically take out or level the contours around the building pad. So it's kind of like a boolean. So I'm going to click on building pad, and I'm going to come in here and just start with this rectangle, hit check, and when I open my 3D, so this is the building, this is the building pad, so that's where it's going to sit, right? And if you want to adjust the surrounding contours, can everybody see the brown? Yeah, let's change. I'll change the material of it. Sure. Okay. So basically, if I want to have a better relationship, or I want to adjust these contours, what I can do is select the topo, edit surface, and then you could choose some of these contours here, and then push them down in elevation, right? So I can choose these control points, and I have their height, so I can make them, let's say 0, and hit apply, and it will kind of level this part here, if you guys can see that. Well, I can technically, another thing I can do is actually, I'm going to undo that, and instead I'm going to do place point, and you can also like create the spot elevations, right? So I can create spot elevations around the 4 corners of my building pad, and then my building will be actually like in a better relationship with the topo. Yeah, yeah, it actually does that. Huh? Yeah. This is all in the same file. This is all in the same file. Okay? So, why don't you guys download this and try to like do what I did basically. Get a topo, cut it out, and then create a building pad, put the building on top, or you can place the site underneath your building as well, and then create the building pad, and then I did edit topo, and I edit these 4 corner points as well, so that this is kind of a better leveled relationship. And to verify that, I can go back to my section as well. So now here you can see the topo comes in, and now it's leveled around the building, right? Let's see. Anything else quick? If you got the building pad, the building, and the site, next thing you want to do is like model, for instance, the kind of a surrounding landscape around your building, you can create, like I'm going to do a simple road and a parking lot maybe. So I'm going to first draft these, go to architecture, model line, and then I'm going to draw a simple parking lot area here. So I'm going to go this way. Doesn't have to be perfect. You can have overlapping lines. And the next thing is maybe the road comes in this direction. So I'm going to do model line again, spline. You can do continuous roads with spline tool. So I'm going to start somewhere here. If you want to do the middle point, then let's snap this guy here. Go to model line again, spline. So I'm going to start with the middle point, go in this direction a bit, and then I'm going to follow the topo, right? So the topo is kind of gradual, going in this direction. I'm going to draw the line. If you're not seeing these lines, it means probably you are in either hidden line mode or shaded mode. So what you want to do is instead switch to wireframe so that you see these lines. And then I would draw the roads by first drawing the midpoints or the midlines, and then you can go to under modify tools, offset, and you want to specify an offset dimension for the road. So let's say 10 in this case. I'm going to offset it both sides by 10. Then for the sidewalks, let's say we want another 5 feet. So I go 5 feet more. So make sure these are like, if you want to create them as another sub-regions, they should be intersecting with the topo a little bit. Then the next thing, massing. I'm going to go to massing and site. I'm going to do split surface. I'm going to select the site, and then I'm going to do pick line. Let's see, this guy, this guy, this guy. Let me see. Merge surface subregion. Split surface, this one. Let's do pick lines. I'm going to pick these two. And then I can add a line segment here. Or let's do pick line. So I could do select the parking lot. Yeah, it has to be precise, I think. So let's do this one instead. Hit check, and now I got this as a separate, like element. So here, if I do iterate with my tab key, I was able to split this surface, and I can change its material as well. So I can maybe make it asphalt. So I go here, under materials I change it to be asphalt shingle. So it gets another material as well. So it's like parking lots. So let me try doing the road as well. Maybe it's something with the spline. I'm going to do split surface as well. Or how about sub-region? I think it could have been sub-region. Yeah, I think I should have done sub-region, not split surface. So you do sub-region, but basically you can, if you look at the video, you can trace kind of a boundary as well. And you can define it as a sub-region. So I'm going to do sub-region, pick lines. I'm going to get these two lines, and then I'm going to add another line here. Yeah, I think so. And this guy as well, and then I get this as a subregion. So if I go to 3D, that part is defined as a road, right? So I can give it another material. I can select it as well, separately from the topo. Just kind of separated. Okay, let's do the sidewalks as well. So I'm going to do subregion again. Pick lines. I'm going to pick this side, and I'm going to pick this line as well. Well, it has to be closed. So let's snap these. Doesn't snap here. Doesn't like that for some reason. Subregion. It's one of these, and then pick lines, this guy and this guy. I think because of the spline interpolation, it doesn't pick the exact point. Let me see. Let's try the other side. Did anybody have success in grabbing this point? It's giving me an error all the time. Let me see, then we could do... if you want to model the buildings around your site, you could do it under in the same tab as well. So you could go to in-place mass, and let's say there are some buildings around my building. I'm going to call it site buildings. Hit OK, and go to site. Now let's say there are some buildings there. So I'm going to draw a rectangle here. Maybe there's one here. Maybe there's another one on this side. Maybe there's another one on this side. I'm going to select all of them. Like you will draft them in the plan view, and then you want to extrude them. So you select the outlines, and then you click on Create Form. It will turn the two-dimensional objects into 3D. You can do them individually, I think. So you select this one, Create Form, this one, Create Form, this one, Create Form, and then you'll be able to control their heights as well. So you could select any one of these. Use the Tab key to select the top surface, and then you can use this arrow to move it up, right? Same thing for this one. If you want to change any kind of, you want to stretch it out, you can select this left side as well. So you can come in here, iterate through the surfaces, select this guy, and then push that face out. Okay, so you can have them conceptual, like you can have them intersecting with the site. I think it's okay. You don't have to model them with a building path like we did with the we did for the building. I just want them as like placeholders.